Alright, hello and welcome everybody once again, and as always, my name is Conman, and we're going to check out another episode of Heroes A to Z. Today we are going to play with Illidan. We're going to get away from the ranged assassins and play with some melee assassins. Full disclosure, I'm a really shitty Illidan, so this should be a fun experience. Illidan's, as I said, melee character. He can be very powerful when he is comboed with the right composition. He's got some people that can activate him and synergize well with him. And he probably does pretty well against auto attackers, given a couple of his abilities and a couple of his traits. The downsides of Illidan, he's also very, very mobile. He can kind of jump all over the place and do, get to places and dodge skill shots and the like. In the hands of a skilled player who's someone who's really familiar with him and who can do really well, he's actually really, really strong, given the right situations. If you're somebody like me who is not a very good Illidan, there's a solid chance that you're going to get yourself killed a lot. The cons of Illidan, he's very susceptible to stuns. If you get stunned and you get knocked out of your abilities, you can go down very quickly because he's got a very low health pool. So you've got to be careful about that. So first off, we're going to take a look just in terms of Illidan. He attacks.
I do not fear you.
Whoops. Didn't mean to taunt there. He attacks pretty quickly. He's almost got 2 attacks per second, as you see here on the character screen. So solid damage, just straight away, without even moving. First thing is his trait. Let's go play with these mercs as we like to. We're gonna go hit, and if we get hit in the face here, you see it doesn't take a whole lot to damage him. He's already at half health. So there are a couple of things to keep in mind. First off, every attack you do reduces your ability cooldowns by a second. The other thing is every attack you do is going to heal you for 30% of that damage. So what that means is if you're in the right situation, and if you have, you get a lot of self-sustain just by, picking off merc camps. You can attack a wall, for example. It's something that you can do. Anything that you can smack around and not take any damage in return is going to keep you alive, and it's going to lower your cooldowns. And the lower that your cooldowns are, the more that you're going to stay alive for, just the following reasons, because they're going to be comboed up with your traits, with your talents. So let me explain the abilities here, and it will make a little more sense, I should say. Starting off with Q. Q is dive. You dive at the target, and you flip to the other side. So you go like this, one of these. So you immediately, let's just say, toggle cooldowns here, let's just say somebody's running away. You can use this kind of as an engage, just to close the distance and immediately go in. You can flip over somebody if they're about to hit you with a skill shot. Like if I'm attacking here and say Alarak is about to hit me with Discord Strike, I can flip over and avoid it. If somebody is running away, I can go in and dive and get in their line of movement and close the gap. So only a 6-second cooldown, very short, especially when you're attacking stuff. This is going to be up most of the time. I said high mobility. You're also going to get a talent that I take most of the time at level, I think it's level 4. There you go, level 4, Friend or Foe, which will increase the range. Let's actually take a look at that, just for the sake of argument. Increase the range, so even a longer range, and it can be cast on allies. So if you need to run away, you can kind of go like this and dive to a friendly minion or dive to a friendly hero here, just to kind of get away. So comes in handy. His W ability is Sweeping Strike. Looks something like this. You actually will go through the hero if you're attacking them. So you dash toward the opponent, you do a chunk of damage, and hitting an enemy increases your basic attack by 35% for 3 seconds. So we'll take a look. Alright, we're doing 171. Now we're doing 231. So you can see, pretty solid DPS increase using Sweeping Strike. Something to keep in mind in Illidan. Now let's see if I can showcase this here. Alright, so if I just attack straight away, you'll see here my damage per second is gonna hover around 342. If I use some Sweeping Strike, it's going to increase a little bit because I'm going to get the extra damage bonus. What I see a lot of Illidans do, and I can be guilty of this myself at times, is you're going to want to overuse dive. You don't necessarily want to use it unless you need to, because let's take a look here. We're going to get down 342. Let's just say you take off cooldowns. There is a pause when you use. And I'm not even moving, I'm not stutter stepping, I'm not doing anything like that. There is kind of a pause when you use dive, and it's actually going to be a net DPS decrease if you're using dive at all times. Now, there might be reasons why you're going to use dive, and there are some talents that you can use that can activate that and help you out, which might give you a reason to use it. But if you're just going for straight damage, untalented dive, using dive every single time is actually, a net DPS decrease. So you do want to be careful of that. It's not too much, but it is, can make a difference.
I alone.
Last ability here is evasion. Evade enemy basic attacks for 2.5 seconds. So any basic attack, whether it's large damage, small damage, you can sit there and avoid Tracer, you can avoid Nova if you know it's coming. Any auto attacks, or you're just gonna sit there and you're gonna eat. It's not even gonna touch you. It's not even gonna block like it lowers the damage. You're just going to completely avoid them. So this is why he can be solid against auto attackers, because he can kind of dive in, get in their face, and hit the evasion to avoid attacks. That's a bunch of damage right there within just the evasion time, and already, just in a couple of seconds, my cooldown is back up. And this is a 15-second cooldown by default, but if you are auto-attacking on a regular basis, this will be up pretty often as well.
Is that all?
Let's go and take a look at his ultimates. He's got 2.
Choose a talent.
First one, Metamorphosis.
Choose a talent.
Metamorphosis, transform into a demon form. At the target, you do some damage kind of where you land, if anyone's in the area. You will get a temporary health increase by anybody that you hit. So let's take a look here. It looks something like this. So this is demon form. The interesting thing about demon form, first off, this is affected by your trait. So your ultimate, even though it's got a 120-second cooldown, is going to be affected by your trait. So as you auto attack stuff, the cooldown is going to go down more quickly. So we're already at 70 seconds, and clearly this wasn't the entire time that we were here. Another thing that's interesting about Metamorphosis, you can use it to avoid skill shots. If you've got a Pyroblast coming at you, right when it's about to hit, boom, you completely avoided that. It's just not there. You can use it to dodge, abilities that you might need to. If D was about to explode, you can kind of pop into Metamorphosis, and you'll avoid that. So you can be used offensively as well as defensively. There's also an upgrade if we get all the way to level 20, where you will permanently remain in demon form, and your attack speed is increased. So let's take a peek at that. Alright. So now we're just in demon form until we die. You can mount when you're in demon form. Also, your attack speed is increased, so you attack even more quickly. And again, I'm going to emphasize this: the more attacks you do, the faster your cooldown will reset. So pretty nifty there. So let's reset some talents here. His other ability is the fun one. I don't know if it's always the more practical one. Depending on your ability, it's the fun one. It's the hunt. Charge it in a unit, you stun them, you deal a chunk of damage. And this has got a fairly long range. I'm not sure what the range is. Let's see here. So there we go. I'm standing all the way on this side in excuse me, in try mode, and if I hit get ready to target it, this is the range. I can go in like this.
You are not prepared.
Now, something to keep in mind.
Feel the hatred of 10,000 years. You are not prepared.
Something to keep in mind about this.
Feel the hatred of 10,000 years.
You for starters, you obviously have the.
You are not prepared.
You do become unstoppable, but you can still take damage if somebody's hitting you with some stuff. If there are projectiles following you and you activate this, they will follow you all the way across, which can make for some interesting moments. You as you can hear from
the hatred of 10,000 years.
From the voiceover, your target knows you're coming. The target hears that, so they know you're coming. They have the icon on your target's thing, so somebody will know that you're coming. If you have the somebody can stasis and kind of avoid some damage. I've happened a lot where I've gone to use this and the Oriole stasised the target, and then I kind of bounced off it, and then that was the end of that. Definitely you can use this to pick off low health targets toward the end, because you'll be able to just kind of dive in. It already does a big chunk of damage straight away, and then you'll be already up in their grill. You can use this. It's a semi-global ability as long as you've got something to target. You can use it on a minion if you need to. It's one of those things like, is it worth a minion to blow your cooldown on a minion? I really don't know, but it is available to do. You can definitely kind of be farming a lane, on the bottom lane, for example, and then hunt over into the middle lane. So keep in mind. let's take a quick peek at just some of the key talents that I think are going to be important as Illidan to pay attention to. One of the two, level 1, Immolation is my usual go-to. After Sweeping Strike, you burn nearby enemies for 50 damage a second for 4 seconds. Just some extra damage. It gives you some solid wave clear as you kind of Sweeping Strike into a minion wave, do some damage straight away, and then you're going to get the burn afterwards to do some extra damage on top of that. I mean, the other thing, if you're not going to take this, if your team has just super duper crazy good wave clear that you're not going to be needed for that, then I might take Unending Hatred, which is just your static, your standard, you know, kill a bunch of stuff to get more damage, and then you'll get eventually extra bonus damage on top of that. Level 4, I almost always go friend or foe. The extra range on dive and the ability to dive to teammates is invaluable, both for closing the gap and for, you know, escaping danger when necessary. At level 7, I tend to go, you know, this is going to depend on the enemy comp, but I tend to go Reflexive Block. Using dive will grant you 75 physical armor for the next 2 hero attacks. Now, again, this is one of those things like you might not want to use block every time for the damage, but if you're going to be facing somebody who uses auto attacks, maybe this is going to be what you use. So you hit this. Let's just go here. We'll take it.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
I'm going to dive. I'm going to get some block. I'm going to dive again. I'm going to get some block. And you can see, I mean, this will give you, if you can do it, it'll give you up to 4 stacks. So this might be why you use, you know, dive on cooldown, because it'll be up fairly often to get those block stacks and reduce your damage. 10, you know, Metamorphosis is probably the safe pick. Hunt is the flashy pick. You gotta be careful about Hunt because you don't necessarily know always what you're diving into. There's a lot of stuff depending on where you're coming from and where you're going that can change over the course of your flight. It's a fun one to use. It's certainly situational. Metamorphosis is probably the safer pick, I think, at the end of the day. Especially when you get to level 20 and you can just be in that form at all times, where it gives you the extra attack speed bonus. So at 13, we've got a couple here. We've got Nimble Defender. As Sweeping Strike hits an enemy hero, you gain armor for 2 seconds, and this is all armor. This isn't even just. Let's go here. We'll go Hunt.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
This isn't even just physical armor. This is all armor across the board. Now, this isn't going to give you 100% with your block stacks, but it's still going to be 25% damage reduction, which can be useful if you're, you know, attacking people that use a bunch of ability damage. So that's just straight damage reduction across the board. So pretty sweet there. You could use Elusive Strike if you're not going to really run into any ability damage at all. Elusive Strike is a good combo as well. Sweeping Strike reduces the cooldown of evasion by 3 seconds, which is pretty nice. And even 6 cents, you can use basically spell armor stacks. So, you know, this is the one where you really gotta kind of time it depending on what you've got. You know, maybe block stacks aren't important if you're dealing with like Tracer, or, you know, Tychus, for example, where Elusive Strike might be more suited for you. Or if you're going to be fighting somebody who uses a lot of spell damage, maybe 6 cents is the way to go. So you want to think about the enemy composition. Level 16, most often, you know, Fiery Brand is kind of a juiced up giant killer. Every 4th attack, you deal 6% of your maximum health. So, you know, now this could be, you know, if you can like latch on to somebody, you know, hop onto like a Cho'Gall or a Muradin or somebody with a high health pool, you can actually chunk their health down pretty quickly. So again, you want to, you know, take a look at the enemy composition. Maybe do they have 2 tanks? Maybe Fiery Brand is the way to go, especially if you're not having any trouble sticking to a particular target. The alternative as well, sometimes I'll do Marked for Death. Well, I'll show you it here. If you dive on the same target successively, you'll do a chunk of bonus damage, and that's not any small chunk of damage either. Plus, you're gonna have, you know, your dive up pretty quickly. This is when dive is actually a net increase in DPS. So, you know, again, you know, you're gonna use your abilities depending on your talents. And at level 20, generally I'll just upgrade if I'm doing Demon Form. I'll take the upgrade here. If I do Metamorphosis, I should say, I'll take the upgrade. If I use Hunt, if you take the upgrade at 20, you'll gain like True Global. You know, it says you'll passively reveal enemy heroes below 25%. That could be fun if you really want to pick somebody off who's low in health and running away. You know, it really depends. If I do Hunt, you know, I mean, I think this is another situational one where maybe do you want this or not? I tend to go Nexus Blades or even Bolt of the Storm just to give myself just some extra running away. So, you know, if you're in draft mode, quick match is quick match, and you get all kinds of nonsense. In draft mode, some people that synergize well with Illidan, Abathur can be really good because he'll have the shields from the hat, from the hat. I think I talked about this in the Abathur video, but you'll get the shields from that. The attack speed upgrade from that makes Illidan really dangerous because you not only do you get shields, maybe you get passive healing, but you get you get the attack speed bonus. So more damage from the attack speed, which will fuel your trait, lower your cooldowns. Excuse me. Keep your health up. Tassadar is another one. Anybody who can give you some shields is great. Tassadar is another one that can activate Illidan pretty well because you've got your lifesteal. I think you get the lifesteal from the shields as well. Plus just having the shield in general, that can give Illidan some courage to kind of dive in and do some damage and then dive back out again. Zarya can do some stuff like that. Plus, if you go in and you're taking damage, that's fueling her energy because you're taking damage with the shields. So, heroes like that, a good healer can kind of keep Illidan going. Maybe like a Pocket Morales, if they can keep the distance. So stuff like that is going to combo well with Illidan. So keep that in the back of your head if you're gonna draft around him.
Choose a talent.
Anything that is going to increase, like Morales will be good because Stim Drone on top of that, you just chew through people. I mean, it's kind of fun. I'll admit that. So let's take a look. Let's hop into the game. Again, I'm not a good Illidan. I die a lot. I die way more than I probably should. I mistime a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna, straight up just admit that this is going to be, I'm probably going to get killed a whole bunch and talk about why I was crap. So, full disclosure.
My hatred is unending.
He can be really powerful in the right hands. I'm not that carry. I'm not that guy. Not Illidan is not. Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we can get. Hopefully we don't take too long to hop into this game. There we go. About 25 seconds. That was about right on cue. So we've got a Tyrande, we've got double tank, and look, there's my Morales that I was hoping for. Okay, I can work with this. So, yeah. See the enemy comp. We are on. What do we got here? We on Hanamura. Okay, so they get a butcher, so I have to watch out for that. Nubric, Uther, Medivh, and D.Va. See, I gotta be careful. Medivh can protect whoever I'm attacking, and that can shut me down pretty hard. Uther can hit me with a stun. Stuns from a Nubric can shut me down pretty hard. I mean, this whole comp is just, I'm terrified of. Butcher I can do okay of. I have to watch out for that initial stun. That initial Butcher charge can be dangerous. If he gets me in Land of the Slaughter, I'm pretty well boned. The interrupts from a Nubric can be troublesome. Yeah, I'm a little worried about these four guys right here. What do we got? We got a 3-on-2. We've got 2 here. So yeah, that should be fun. Should be fun. I'm going to be a major source of the team's damage. I guess Tyrande would be the other side here. I don't know how well this will work out. Butcher in the early game, I might do well against Butcher. He won't have any abilities. He won't have any meat yet, and that'll be good for me. If I can avoid the stuns, I can do okay against Butcher if I keep my evasion up. And this might be one where I use the block stacks, and it's tough too because I think about it. Butcher attacks very hard, so block stacks would be great. D.Va is going to attack very quickly, which is going to shred through that. So it's going to be tough. I don't know about that. I mean, hopefully we'll have the healing to get through it. And Medivh here, the protect is going to give me a hard time. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. Level wise, I mean that's pretty close. Although that's a big one. Almost 1500 account level on that D.Va, so that's pretty tight. And I guess somebody's internet is broken here since we're not actually getting into the game. Hopefully it's not mine. There we go. We do have some good self-sustain on our team, though. Tyrande can, secondary healer. Leora can heal himself with the grabby hand. Stitches can self-heal with his bite. Morales, if she's not taking damage, she'll heal herself. So, we do have a decent amount of self-sustain on the team, which could be nice. Maybe we can, work on that. Uther, the new Uther, casting armor on everybody, that's going to hurt too. That's going to suck for me. I don't know. I'm not sure how this game is going to work out.
Fight the battle!
I'm gonna start. Great question. Do I want to go Unending Hatred or do I want to go Immolation? I'm gonna go with Immolation. I'm not sure. I mean, we've got some decent wave clear. Leora can clear through it. Stitches can do okay. He's got the slam, which can at least get it started. I am gonna go with Immolation though, just for extra damage.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stitches looks AFK. That's no great. That's not good at all. There he goes. Okay, here he's coming too. Get some vision here. That could be useful. So that's most of the team. That is most of the team. So they got a 4 stack on the bottom. At least 4 on the bottom. And there's Medivh. So there's the entire team's down here. So that's all 5. So Stitches at the moment is just hanging out by himself. So at least that'll be fine in terms of experience. I would love to dive in on that Butcher, but I will get stunned into bejesusness by everybody else. So I gotta be careful. There we go. See, it was just stun, and that's what I gotta watch out for. I was fortunate enough to be able to tag my evasion. Yep, that was me. See, that's just diving in too aggressively. I did have heals, so props to Morales for trying to help me out here. Unfortunately, just they have too many stuns for me to jump into 4 of them like that, even if they have low health. That was just stun, and then dead. Now, the idea here is that we hang out on bottom. We'll probably lose the push eventually. But Stitches will get some value up top. The new brick is kind of low. Let's see if we can get that dive. There we go. See, that's what the dive is for. You can close that distance pretty quickly.
We make a great team.
Something to keep in. Your evasion will absorb or block tower shots, I believe, unless they change that. There we go. Gotta be careful about that. Yeah, so I did eat some tower shots. I could have dived in and probably killed the diva. I didn't trust myself to be able to dive back out. So here we go. So this is one of those things where everybody hears the payload and they just immediately evacuate the lane. I'm gonna soak some experience, and I'm gonna take friend or foe. So if you've watched my Hanamura video, you'll know that that's not what I consider. There's a stun. That's unfortunate. Let's back up. Not the best thing in the world. You don't necessarily need to do that. That diva, she's got her cooldown up, so even if I jump in, she'll just hop into the mech. Get some experience. Get some mercs. Let's at least force her to get into. Yeah, there we go. I gotta back off now, and I get stunned again. So, I misplayed that completely, allowed myself to get stunned, and that was it. I would have loved to just push here more before we went to the payload. I'm going to work on some mercs, is what I'm going to do once I respawn. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to take this support camp. We're going to find out. However, the support camp will be pretty nice if I can do it. Okay, so he is gonna hit me for a bit. I'm diving for reasons that I don't quite understand. Alright, so we got a payload apiece. Alright, so this is doable. This takes longer than I would have liked, but it's certainly doable, and there's a big chunk of experience. We lost Morales. Let's see if we can go help out. That's 4 on.
Don't forget to check the pockets. What?
There we go. It's a kill at least. It's a kill at least.
Payloads deployed. Escort your payload to its destination.
Very mobile, very hyper mobile.
Pick a talent.
Do you have to be careful? This is an interesting one. Let's go with the block. I'll go with the block just because of Butcher. I have a feeling that D.Va is going to... D.Va in pilot form can do for a solid chunk of damage too, which maybe it'll come in handy. And again, look at that, just right for the payloads. Good hook, good hook. And I've got to bail out because I got stunned. And that was a double stun. Yeah, I'm just... So I'm being overly aggressive, given the situation, and that's on me. That's definitely in me. Yeah, 3 deaths already. I mean, that's just, like I said, I'm not a good Illidan. I wish our team would not go for the payloads right away. Let's get some pushy. I don't know. They're also being very coordinated. Like, we're not gonna get this. Like, why are we even near the boss? This is just silly. Unless they're going for the boss, there's absolutely no reason to be here. No, I got 8 by the boss. I was gonna kill Medivh. Oh, that's awful. Oh, let's run away before he hooks me again. Oh, that was awful.
Your payload will be redeployed shortly. Payload firing upon enemy core.
Okay.
Your enemy's payload has been redeployed. Your payload has been redeployed.
Alright. We will get us a turret. Now hopefully that those mercs I'm grabbing are keeping us in some kind of experience lead. I'd like to think I'm helping with that. I'm just going to hang out here while we're pushing. Is it just the one? It's just the one. So I can at least stun for... I'm going to get stunned. I do have to be careful about this. Yeah, this is where I need to be careful.
Destroy this fort.
That was a little too close. They're gonna pull that in. We're gonna get ours. We're not gonna get... I am going to take... I really want to take Hunt because it's flashy, but let's just play it safe.
Let's move out.
I'm gonna go up here and help the team. If we get this... we get this keep, that'd be a big deal. And the keep is out of shots as well. That's fine. You're gonna get killed. You are gonna get... I gotta back off.
They will surely feel this loss.
Good job, team. I'm gonna bail out.
The enemy's payload will be redeployed shortly.
Yep, that's where I'm headed. Teams, now we got the right idea. I will take that, thanks very much. So now we've got 4-4 in the core shots, but we've got a 2-1 advantage on the payload shots. I'm gonna help out Leoric here just so Medivh doesn't think he's gonna do any sneaky steely nonsense. He is going to get it. Yep. He's not gonna get away though. There you go. That is I gotta bail out. Yeah, unfortunately they caught us a little too late. that was not so great. I was excited to get Medivh. Didn't see Butcher coming in from the back, and at that point it was a little too late. Can't deal with those stuns. Those stuns eat you alive, as Illidan. That is 4 deaths? 4 deaths. Yep, I am terrible.
Enemy payload firing.
I will have my vengeance. Quickly.
Your payload has been redeployed.
I'm gonna bail out on this just because team is engaging. Not a good time. They're outnumbered as well because Tyrande is pushing the payload. I want to be there and try to help him out.
Well done.
Oh, that could be bad. I got fortunate to be in the cocoon.
Well done, healer. Claim your wretched life. Hardly a challenge.
And I get stunned. Why are we shot backing?
The enemy's payload has been redeployed.
Alright, that's good. Keep him in there. We're gonna get the kill on Butcher at least. So you gotta back off. Thanks for the heals, kids. Can we get... I guess we're gonna back off. We're gonna back off. Okay. We're gonna get that.
At last.
Payload firing
Well
upon
done,
enemy core.
healer.
That's fine. We get the shots on core. I don't know what he's saying for the win.
Well done, healer. Finally. Acceptable.
Solid chunk of experience. Thank you, medic.
Hardly a
So they're gonna get that.
Enemy payload fired.
last.
Am I gonna be able to get him? I don't think I am. I'm not gonna get him.
Now.
Payload firing upon
That's
enemy
definitely not a winning shot. We can do boss, but that terrifies me because they're alive. This absolutely terrifies me. Yes, okay, good call, good call. We're gonna go past the boss. Now we have to be careful, because now their payload becomes a win situation for them.
The enemy's payload will be redeployed shortly.
Good team. Is actually, what you don't see a lot is a team that's actually taking Medivh's portals. That doesn't happen. Nice try on the hook there. I gotta be careful because I'm way out of position and Butcher can mess me up pretty quickly.
The enemy's payload has been redeployed.
Hardly a challenge. Taste the blades of Azeroth.
Good, good, good.
Well done, healer.
You fight with passion.
Also good. Now we can do boss. Now we can do boss. We got 2 dead. Let's go. Let's get boss.
Pick it down. Killing spree.
Come on, come on, come on. We've got 2 dead. We want to make this quick. I'm gonna just engage. I am going to get eaten. Yep, that was what I expected. I'm gonna use. I took. Where's this guy's health at? I'm gonna get eaten again. What I am gonna do is do one of these. This is gonna be dangerous. How? Oh, Ley Line seal. I don't think we did that fast enough.
Your payload will be redeployed shortly.
We're gonna lose this game. There really isn't much Stitches is gonna be able to do here. That's tough. That's tough. That was a good stop for them.
Are you Bronze League?
Yeah, that's game. I don't know where.
Enemy payload firing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Payload has been redeployed.
I don't think we went to. I don't think we went to the boss fast enough.
Double or nothing.
I don't think the matchmaking wasn't the problem in this game. I'm not even gonna bother typing it. Matchmaking wasn't the problem here. So what went wrong there? I think if we're gonna go for the boss, if we're gonna make a pull for the boss, we need to go all in. You know, if you saw my video on Hanamura, it's a hard boss. You definitely have to go all in and really do it. And when Medivh died, like that's when you go. Like we got the 2 kills. That's when we just turn tail and we go. And then if they try to engage us, it's a 5-on-3. And then at best we kill the boss and they can't do anything. You know, at worst we just drop the boss and we just go kill the other 3 people. And then go push the cart instead. You know, it's take your pick. Like that's, you know, we waited too long, and that was our downfall. I thought we had it for a moment, and then we got Ley Line seal. Medivh got a really good ult off, and that was just exactly what we needed to do. That was the boss steal, and at that point it was kind of game over. You know, like I died 5 times, definitely too much. Like I said, I was not a good Illidan. This was not a good team to go up against, just way too many stuns. You know, you dive in, you get stunned once, and then you're at half health before you can do anything. And I dived in too much, and we didn't have damage outside of that, really, to do a heck of a lot. So that was troublesome. Not, you know, matchmaking was what it was. I don't think the matchmaker was the problem here. We had every opportunity to win this game. You know, we got played. That's plain and simple. So that being said, we'll take a look at the compos here, the talents. Immolation, level 1. You get the bonus damage on the sweeping strike. Level 4 went friend or foe just for the extra dive range. Did come in handy a couple of times. Level 7, reflexive block. Physical armor for the next 2 basic hero attacks. I was of questionable. I'm not sure how that worked out. I really was more worried about Butcher than anything else, and maybe Diva. When she was in pilot form, she does do a bunch of damage there. Nimble Defender. 10 was Metamorphosis. I'm questioning this now. I really wanted to take Hunt. Hunt might have come in handy. I'm not sure. It's still Metamorphosis is still the safe play. It's still the better play to go off on. You know, it's just what it is. I was hoping we would have got to 20. Hanamura is not really the map for that though. So level 13, Nimble Defender. If sweeping strike hits an enemy hero, gain armor. That's just stay alive more in general. 16 marked for death. This was one I took explicitly. So normally I might have gone for Fiery Brand if we weren't going to go for the boss. Fiery Brand is only going to attack, is only going to do damage against heroes. So at that point, I know we were going for the boss. So I explicitly made a point to take Marked for Death to do extra damage on the boss. That's why I took that. Not a bad one overall. I think I might have gotten Fiery Brand otherwise. Had we gotten to 20, I would have taken Demonic Form, you know, if we had gone that way. So not that's your typical Hanamura game. We unfortunately lost the boss fight. It was good steal on their part, so props to them. We did okay. You know, we had opportunities. I think we could have pushed. I do think we could have pushed more. I think most times, you know, we have the opportunity. We should just push the hell out of things, and we didn't do it. That's fine. That's what happens. Maybe people will hopefully figure it out at some point. So that's Illidan. I'm glad to be off him because I'm terrible. He's fun to play, but I'm just this was like the worst possible thing that we could have gotten into. One of the worst possible compositions. Just way too many stuns for Illidan's taste. At least for me playing Illidan's taste, that's for sure. I'll post the build up on the Hero's Hearth. My name is Conman. Thanks for watching. You know, let me leave a comment. Let me know what you're looking forward to seeing. Next up, we're going to the second half of row 3. We're gonna play with Jaina. Jaina's kind of fun. She is all the squishies, just squishy. Johanna will be interesting too. She's pretty solid. Once we get to her, we get to a tank again, and then right back to another squishy. Looking forward to Jaina. She was one of the first characters I ever learned, and then I stopped playing her again. So, my name's Conman. This was another episode of Heroes A to Z, and thanks for watching.